Bill O'Reilly, Thursday, May 27th, 2021. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening across our nation. Questions grow over the origin of COVID. Violent crime in the New York subway system doubles in just a week. A new survey shows most children now experience eco-anxiety. Polling reveals just how rare conservative instructors are at Harvard. U.S. households throw away food in record amounts. Also ahead, Joe Biden, tough guy, or Joe Biden, anti-police? But first, President Biden asking the intelligence community to gather information that could bring us closer to a definitive conclusion on the origins of COVID in China. The president saying there are now two likely scenarios. The virus originated in bats and spread to humans naturally, or infected lab workers in Wuhan, China, spread it. And I think the evidence leans toward the latter. The NYPD confirming 26 felony assaults in New York City subways in the last 7 days, up from 13 the previous week. Leaders in Albany, New York, now allocating an additional $2.2 million to hire private security to patrol the subways. Recent attacks include a 21-year-old woman shoved onto the train tracks. New York City has become a very dangerous place. New survey from Reuters showing many children now experience eco-anxiety on a daily basis. The poll says 80% of people between the ages of 8 and 16 say climate change causes extreme frustration and depression. Some are even considering suicide, according to Reuters. Do I believe this poll from a left-wing news outlet? No, I do not. Another poll conducted by the Harvard student newspaper says just 3% of faculty members identify as conservative. 80% say they're either liberal or very liberal. Now, do I believe that poll? Having attended Harvard? Yes, I do. Researchers at Penn State say the average American household now throws 33% of its groceries in the garbage. Study says the biggest factor behind the waste is a healthy diet. Americans struggling to watch their weight often toss excess food in the trash. In a moment, Law and Order Joe Biden is no more. Right back. Can thieves really steal your home's title? Take it from this thief who stole more than 150 homes and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. That's why you need Home Title Lock.
Nobody thinks that I can take their house and borrow against the house. Oh, no, I have title insurance for that. No, it's in my name, or he would have to get some special document. They would call me. Nobody's calling you. After I've stolen the title, borrowed against it, or sold the property, or done whatever I've done with it, it's 60 to 90 days to even figure out that they're the victim of this crime. By that point, you start getting foreclosure notices, and you realize you've got 4 mortgages on your house. Not only that, you don't even own your home anymore. It's not even in your name.
Heard enough? Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you're already a victim, and enter radio for 30 free days of protection. That's code radio at HometitleLock.com. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. President Biden is set to sign the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act if it passes the Senate. So what exactly is that? Here's a quote. The bill enhances existing enforcement mechanisms to remedy violations by law enforcement. Among other things, it does the following. Lowers the criminal intent standards from willful to knowing or reckless to convict a law enforcement officer of misconduct, and limits qualified immunity in a private civil action against a law enforcement officer. That means any criminal could sue the police officer who arrests him or her in civil court. Of course, Police officers and their unions could never afford to pay lawyers to defend them. So, who would want to be a cop under that law? The answer is very few people, unless you're a millionaire, because you'd be in court constantly defending yourself and paying lawyers. Do we all understand? So if the George Floyd bill passes, the American criminal justice system will collapse. Now, here's the key question. Does Joe Biden even know that? Can he grasp what this bill is all about? I don't think so, but that's not an excuse. He's in the Oval Office. Now, historically, when Mr. Biden was a senator, he was a tough guy, a very pro-cop senator. Quote, in 1989, violent thugs need to go to prison. Predators are on the streets. I say, lock the SOBs up. Again, that's a quote from Senator Biden, 1993. Quote, it doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. Unquote. Tough guy Joe Biden back in 1993. One more. 1994. The truth is, every major crime bill since 1976 that's come out of this Congress, every minor crime bill, has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden. Law and order Joe. But no longer. Now it's woke Joe. Today, it's tell me what to do Joe, as the president is totally in the pocket of the far radical left. No one can honestly deny that. And the result is we are all in danger from criminals as violent crime explodes across the country. Again, that is the truth, and I am very worried about the United States of America. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. For more honest news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com, and please check out my new book, Killing the Mob, the #1 nonfiction book in the world. In a moment, something you might not know. This year marks 20 years since America's darkest day, September 11, 2001, and the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's frontline heroes ever since. When a first responder or military service member doesn't come home and young children are left behind, Tunnel to Towers pays off the mortgage to lift the financial burden for the family and bring their families some stability. For catastrophically injured vets and first responders, Tunnel to Towers builds mortgage-free smart homes, enabling our most severely injured heroes to live more independent lives. Our nation's heroes, people who are willing to die for us, need your help. So please don't wait. Join Tunnel to Towers on their mission to do good and help those heroes. Please donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 86 years ago this week, Babe Ruth hit home run number 714 at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. This was the final homer of Babe's legendary career. The record would stand for 4 decades. Here's the story behind baseball's greatest player ever. George Herman Ruth, born February 6, 1895 in Baltimore. Young George was a troublemaker. His parents had to send him to live at a convent, a Catholic convent, at the age of 7 because he refused to go to school. So he lived with the nuns at St. Mary's Church until he was 19 years old. Then he was signed as a pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, then traded to the Boston Red Sox. His teammates labeled him Babe for his childlike face and youthful features. To the great dismay of Boston fans, Babe Ruth was sold to the New York Yankees before the 1920 season. Babe Ruth switched to the outfield in the Bronx and hit more home runs than the entire Red Sox team for the next decade. One guy hits more than the entire team for 10 years. The Sultan of SWAT, or the Bambino, as Ruth was known, became the greatest attraction in baseball history. Babe Ruth dominated his era like no one else. 54 home runs in 1920 were more than the next three players in the league combined. He stole 123 bases in his career, 93 more than Joe DiMaggio. Ruth also hit 136 triples, and he was a chubby guy. The great Bambino retired in 1935, died of throat cancer in 1948. He was just 53 years old. And here's something else you might not know. Today, Babe Ruth's signature is the most coveted autograph for sports fans around the planet. A baseball signed by the Babe recently sold at auction for, ready, $400,000. Talk about a home run. Back after this. Are you looking for your next investment? Bill O'Reilly here. There are 7 reasons to look at the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized. Bonuses to 21% targeted. They strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people want to move to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk. Their short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns right now. NRIA is an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. So, if you've been sitting on the sidelines or want to diversify, start your due diligence at nria.net. Or you can call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.